Ah, yes, a honey badger in his natural habitat. Beach at his feet, wind in his hair, ocean facing him, and of course, seagulls trying to poop on his head. Welcome to HB RV Lifestyle, the podcast. I am the host, the honey badger, here to give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business, as well as other things. And today we're going to talk about some of those other things because they're going to affect my prediction for the 2025 RV market. Now, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on the main channel in more depth on my RV industry update. But I wanted to kind of give you guys kind of a preview here on the podcast. So first off, before I do that, let me ask you a question. I've been debating with myself, do I grow the beard out or do I just stay clean shaved? Let me know what your opinion is in the comments section because I'm not sure. I'm sitting on the fence. I'm never going to color my hair. I'm going to go get a haircut next week, but I've been debating, do I keep it clean or do I keep growing it out? Let me know in the comments section. Okay, so some of the things that's going to affect what happens in 2025 that's not named interest rates is number one, credit card debt. Our economy, whether they want to admit it or not, I don't care if you're Fox Business, CNN, MSNBC, I don't care who you are. When you listen to CEOs of finance companies on podcasting, not on, it's just this and it's just that, and you see me, double talk, investor talk, let's not piss off investors. When you get them separated and onto a one-on-one type podcast, like on something like the Joe Rogan show or something, you get a sense that even the CEOs of the major banks know the credit card debt is what's propping up the economy. Okay? Our economy is not healthy. And I don't care what political party affiliation you're with. It doesn't matter to me. If you both political parties looked deep down, since 2022, we've had one of the worst economies in the world because most people can't even afford a $150 a month travel trailer payment. So those people that are families, okay, we're talking about the family of 3, family of 5, family of 6, they're the ones that come out and buy these bunkhouse travel trailers. They come out and they probably represent 35 to 40% of the travel trailer market. And they've disappeared for the last 2 years. They've bought some used. We've seen some people with some used ones. But for the most part, those families are more about trying to put food on their table. They're more about trying to decide whether to pay the mortgage this month because they have to put food on the table. Food costs have gone through the roof. Okay? I don't care what political party affiliation you're with. We all can agree food is astronomical. Energy is astronomical. And policies set forth by several politicians on both sides of the fence have caused this to happen over the last 2.5 years. And it can't be fixed in an election. Okay? So for those of you that are MAGA Republicans, Donald Trump ain't going to save the economy. It's not possible for him to just snap his fingers on December 1st or January 20th or January 21st, where the hell it is, and, economy's healed. Okay? Mrs. Harris. Same thing. She can't snap her fingers and make all the policies that have been enacted over the last 4 years to just simply go away. Okay? It's going to take time. No matter who wins the presidency, no matter who wins Congress or House of Representatives, to fix the economy, to fix the credit card debt, to fix the repossession rate, to fix interest rates, to fix all this stuff, it's not going to happen on day one of the new regime. No matter if it's Harris or Trump, it doesn't matter. It's not going to happen. Okay? Now, will people have more confidence in one candidate or the other and be more willing to spend money? Sure. Okay? Republicans and some independents might feel more comfortable spending money if Trump wins. Some Democrats and liberals and some independents might feel more comfortable spending money if Harris wins. Okay? That's nor here nor there. It's a matter of what the economy actually can bring, what you actually can afford. And what's sad, and this is the hard part about this whole thing, is everybody blames interest rates. But the payments haven't changed much in 3 years. Okay? You may gain, let's say interest rates go down to 4%, okay, in the RV industry. I did the math on this. Remember how we talked about they're going to raise their profit margin at the dealership level once interest rates come down, right? So that being said, you're really only saving $35, $40 a month. So $35, $40 more a month to buy a travel trailer at a better price than you would when interest rates go down is a smart move because you can always refinance it, right? But it's not that people can't afford the extra $35 or $40. They can't afford the payment in general, right? And a lot of you are like, well, just pay cash. I mean, that's all you got to do is pay cash. Well, they can't even afford, nobody can afford to pay cash. It's very hard to pay cash. If you are blessed enough to be able to pay cash for your car, cash for your house, cash for your RV, you're a very blessed person. Congratulations. Normal America, normal world cannot pay things like that in cash. They take loans out. Now, most smart people put a huge down payment, and most people make bigger payments, double payments on their RV and car loans to try to avoid the interest overall. So if people are living on their credit cards to feed their family, how do you think they're going to be able to pay cash for an RV? Just think about that. This also is causing a problem because you would think with less buyers and more inventory that private party sellers would drop their pricing. No, they raised their pricing again. I noticed that in the last 2 weeks. People have jacked their prices back up on the private party market. It's like, hold on, guys. There are fewer buyers out there because we're getting closer to election time and we're getting closer to the holidays. You know, in this industry, we always said you're fighting Santa Claus after, basically November 15th, you're fighting Santa Claus. So the reality is that raising your prices on your travel trailer that you're trying to sell is not going to help. You need to drop your pricing. Okay? That's what these very few cash buyers are waiting for a deal. And they're going to sit on the sidelines until they find the deal. That's why the people that are selling them quickly are reasonable. I'll give you an example. I talked to a guy a week ago. He had his 2004 32 Bounder on a workhorse chassis, 52,000 miles. It's in perfect shape, guys. I mean, great shape. He wanted $40,000 for that motorhome. Then he raised his price to $45,000, thinking it'll spark somebody come in and make an offer. Nothing. He called me. Actually contacted me through Facebook Messenger. And then I called him on the phone. Took me a couple weeks to get a hold of him because I've been just so busy. And we had a nice hour-long conversation. I said, I don't want you to take it the wrong way. He goes, okay, but your motorhome's worth about $5,000. Period. Now if it's in that good a shape, in that great a shape, you might get 10. So what he did was he lowered the price last week. He lowered it down to $14,000. And he got 17 phone calls in the first 2 days and sold it for 12. He was so mad because during COVID in late 2020, he bought that motorhome for $60,000 cash. And he couldn't even recuperate $40,000. Well, I told him, it's because that motorhome should have never sold for $60,000. That motorhome should have sold for $10,000 or $12,000. But because of COVID and everybody was desperate, everybody wrote checks their bodies can't cash. They did it on homes, they did it on cars, they did it on trucks, and now we're all paying the price for it. Okay? For this industry to correct itself, it's not going to take politicians. It's going to take the industry as a whole to shut down for 6 months. New specifically. It's going to take Doug Geddard, Pete Legal, because that's your two leaders at Forest River, Bob Dumb over at Coachman, Bob Martin and Jeff over at Keystone and Thor. It's going to take the Brady boys over at Alliance. It's going to take Don Clark at Winnebago. It's going to take all these guys to get together in a room and decide, hey, we're going to furlough our employees for the next 6 months. Stop building. Everything in the yard we'll sell to the government and FEMA later down the road. Let's shut it down. Let's shut down year model 2025, and let's regroup for year model 2026. Let's skip a year model or skip a half a year model. Because then what's going to happen is the supply is going to catch up to the real demand. Okay? And once that has happened, it means that more used inventory is going to sell or repossess and sell through the auction. And it'll balance out next year, where next year you start fresh. So no matter who wins the presidency at that point, the actual balance of supply and demand will occur. And then dealerships like mom and pop stores are going to stop closing their doors, stop selling to the bigger corporations. The bigger corporations, which, by the way, there's a large corporation, a very large dealership corporation that I've been told is going to shut down 27 stores by February. 27 stores. We're talking about multi-billion-dollar corporation that isn't making any money. You're talking about auto dealerships, RV dealerships, and boat dealerships planning mass layoffs. I mean, guys, with my background, I can't even find a job. I gave up on the RV industry for a while. I'm still in it, okay? And the whole thing with the executive has been squashed. And I still have my contacts, and I still am going to do freelance work. I'm still going to do the podcast. I'm still going to be doing the YouTube channel, still doing the TikTok. But to make money, I've had to do other things. We do what we have to do to survive. Do you think I'm out in the market looking for another fifth wheel besides the Keystone Cougar my kids and my wife live in? No. Hell, I'm trying to cut my debt down, right? I'm trying to prepare because I know what's coming. I know next year is going to be just absolutely atrocious. It's going to be a crap economy no matter who wins. Now, you can go debate about what happens in 2026 with whatever candidate wins. But Harris and Trump cannot solve the economy in a snap of the fingers in one day. You can't solve 4 years of stupid in a day. You can't. And for those of you, for those of you that are against Harris because she's the VP of Joe Biden, in the history of our country, the vice president realistically just does whatever the president tells him to do. Okay? Cheney, Joe Biden did whatever Obama wanted. Pence did whatever Trump wanted, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? The vice president is really an extension of the president. It's like the president's vote in Congress when there's a tie. That's pretty much what the VP does. The VP is not going to go against what the president wants. So, yes, I'm not a big fan of Mrs. Harris, okay, at all. I'm not a very big fan of Mr. Trump either. I think Mr. Trump is an idiot. But that's just my personal opinion. It's not about politics. It's about he just does some stupid crap that just no normal human being would do. No average human being would do, okay? But neither one of those candidates can be blamed for what's going on. And realistically, they can't fix it in a day. So that's all I have to say for today. Until next time, toolkit and sense of humor, folks.